Oh, hello everyone. My name is Mason and welcome to my kitchen. I've just worked an 8-hour shift at the cafeteria, so right now I'm really tired and I really want a sweet and sour dessert. So today I will be making a Manchurian style oat yogurt pudding with some fruit jello on top. It's a very simple, delicious dessert that doesn't require any baking, and it's also super easy to make. You can literally make it on the fly, put it in the fridge, and later you can serve it to your kid or your friend. It's really delicious, it's light, it's fluffy, and overall, just a very fun and enjoyable dessert to make. So let's get started. Alright, let's talk about all the necessary ingredients to make this dessert. We need a souffle bowl. I have a 5-ounce one. This to me is the sort of the perfect size. We need gelatin. You only really need 1 pack. Some granulated sugar. I love this particular brand of crackers, so I'm going to use that, but you are more than free to use any graham cracker you like. It's really like a personal preference. You need some sour cream, a plain flavor Greek yogurt, and some cream cheese is totally optional, and a little bit butter with your choices of preserved fruit. I personally love Mandarin oranges, so I will be using these Mandarin orange cups. Alright, let's start with the first step. We need about 2 pieces of the graham crackers, and we want to gently break them apart into smaller crumbs. It's the same as making like a cheesecake base, and if you have like a food processor, definitely feel welcome to use it here. But if you don't, just gently kind of like heat it with a spoon and like dice it into little crumbs, kind of with the same amount of motion you used to search your like missing phone between your car seats. It's totally okay if there are some like bigger chunks. It's actually pretty hard to like break them completely apart. If you have like bigger chunks like these, it's totally okay. Eventually they will all be soaked and soft, so like it's not gonna be a problem. For now, we will need to melt some butter, and we need about just like 1 teaspoon, and we need to put it in a microwave safe bowl and microwave it until it becomes liquid. Once you've melted the butter, you want to carefully pour it into the bowl with the cookie base. You want to gently mix it until the butter have completely soaked up all the cookie bits and are start to basically stick them together. After you've finished mixing the cookie base, you want to basically flatten them into like a flat base for the dessert. It again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be as flat as possible. And once you've done that, we can wrap it up and put it in the fridge. Once you've finished making the cookie base, we can wrap the bowl with some plastic wrap and let it chill in the fridge. It doesn't have to chill too long. As long as the butter is cured, it should be ready to go for the next step. Now let's mixing the gelatin for the yogurt base. You really only need about half pack of this. You don't really need a full pack like what I did here. That's a mistake on my behalf. If you put a full pack in, it will be a little kind of like too tough and too jello-y. About half pack, it's about perfect. Now you want to mix in about 1 cup of boiling hot water. It has to be really hot in order to melt the gelatin. Once you've poured the water in, you want to start mixing it immediately, but just, be careful. It can be really hot, and if it sort of flips up, it could, burn yourself. So just be careful. Once the gelatin have fully dissolved, you want to immediately mix in about 6 teaspoons of sugar. Personally, I'm not, that big of a sweet tooth, so 2 spoons to me is kind of like the max. But in my opinion, 2 teaspoons really isn't sweet enough. So, if you want it to be sweeter, like just be generous on the amount of sugar. Alternatively, the artificial sweeteners also works really well, and they also give you less carbs, so if you don't like sugar, please feel free to use that as well. Okay, so if you wish to add cream cheese into the recipe, right now would be the perfect time to mix in about like 2 teaspoons of quantity. You just need a little bit to actually get that taste. And after that, we can mix in the Greek yogurt. Make sure you scrape the whole pot, because basically we are tasting the yogurt, so make sure having like as much yogurt in it as possible. And we will need to give it a thorough whisk. We have to make sure that all the chunks are dissolved. Now to add the extra sourness, let's mix in a big spoon of sour cream. You really don't need too much sour cream. Like a big spoon, it's kind of like the perfect right size. Again, make sure you mix it thoroughly, make sure it's dissolved with the rest of the mixture. Once you've finished mixing the yogurt mixture, we can take the bowl out of the fridge and we can check if the cookie base is cured or not. If it's cured, then we can remove the film and we can slowly pour the yogurt mixture in. Alright, so now you have the yogurt mixture in the cup. We can wrap it again and put it in the fridge. We need to wait for at least 2 to 3 hours until the gelatin has cured. Then we can proceed to the next step. Alright, so it has been roughly about 2 hours since I've put it in the fridge, and now we can take it out and inspect it. It looks like it has beautifully cured. Alright, so let's remove the plastic wrap and we can start putting fruit on top. Now, if you are using Mandarin oranges like what I'm doing right now, you want to leak out the syrups from their cups. Those syrups will ruin the dessert, so you want to avoid them at all costs. A little bit left in it, it's okay, but you want to get rid of like as much as you can. We can carefully place each pieces on top of the yogurt. If the yogurt have done correctly, it shouldn't like fell through, so You know, if that's the case, you can put it back in the fridge, but for now you just want to carefully put these orange pieces on top and make a beautiful circle shape. Now, there really isn't, you know, like an ideal or like a standard way to do these patterns, so you can totally be creative with these fruits. You know, you can like add other fruits in, just make it as something that represents yourself and be creative with it. Now, to make the top JellO part of the dessert, we need to do the exact same thing where we have to mix about half pack of the gelatin with boiling hot water. This time, again, you only need about less than a cup, and you don't really have to mix it thoroughly. I would suggest you to put in somewhere between 2 to about 4 teaspoons of sugar for the sweetness. You can definitely add more to it, but again, I feel like 2 to 4 teaspoons is, you know, the healthiest part for me. Now you want to carefully pour in the gelatin mixture. I would really suggest you to use a spoon to guide you to pour the gelatin in. You really just want them to kind of like sip in, and you really don't need all of them. You just need kind of like enough to submerge all the fruits. Then, you know, you can just like, you know, dump the rest of the gelatin away. They're just kind of for dressing. You don't really need all of them. And now we are only one step away from finishing this beautiful dessert. Right now we want to carefully wrap the top of the bowl with plastic wrap, and we want to put it in the fridge again for about 2 to 3 hours to allow the top layer to cure. And now it's cured. I just took this out of the fridge and it looks stunning. Now it would be the perfect opportunity to take some pictures and post this beautiful dessert on your social media. I hope by this point you've successfully created your own version of this dessert. It's an absolute blast for me to make this, and I hope you really enjoy its taste. It really takes a lot of effort for me to make these videos, so I really appreciate your view. And I just want to thank you for watching this video on the official KBVR TV channel.